Hi, and welcome to Rabbit and Moon Tarot. I will be doing a collective read, and really what it is how are we all doing post-solar eclipse? Because I don't know if anyone else felt this way, but it kind of felt like the energy was incredibly strong. So I'm kind of doing a post-solar eclipse new moon in Aries check-in. So if you've been here before, you know that I've started putting chapter markers in my videos, so you'll find them either on the timeline or in the description box below. If you're new to my channel, thank you so much for, trying out a new tarot channel. I am very small and I've not been here long, but if at the end of all this you like the vibe and you like the reading and you like my personality, please consider sharing and subscribing. But I want to go ahead and get into a tarot intro. Again, for those who are new to my channel and maybe in general are new to readings, just a little food for thought. Nothing too long, but here goes. Tarot and oracles are tools for self-reflection. They're tools to help guide you making life decisions when you are utilizing your own internal moral compass in pursuit of your own particular brand of happiness. As an intuitive reader, when a card comes out, I'll say, hey, this card came out and this represents this archetype, this cycle, this theme, or I intuit what I get from it, because my guides will tap in and tell me, hey, this is the card I want to use. This is the meaning that I'm attaching to it, and then I will relay it. It's up to you, the viewer, to decide whether or not that actually is something that resonates with you. And here's the thing. It may not always resonate because I'm doing a collective read. It isn't a one-on-one. And even when I do one-on-ones, it is all about whether or not it resonates for you at that particular time, because tarot and oracle readings are timeless. It may not resonate now, but perhaps in 5 years you happen to see this video again, it may resonate then. Or maybe it resonates with a situation you already experienced. The reason why you're hearing it now is because likely you're drawing on the wisdom that you learned from a past experience. But the most important thing is you are the maestro of your own destiny. I'm reading the energy as it exists right now, but it's liable to change based on decisions you make and the decisions that others make. And just, don't give your entire energy and power up to a tarot reading. You are the grand maestro of your own destiny because you have free will and autonomy. And I believe in fate and destiny, I do, but I believe they will only take you so far. It will present you opportunities, paths, doorways, portals, if you will. But it's up to you to decide whether or not you're going to utilize those opportunities. So, sorry for the bit of the cut. We had a knock at the door so early on into my reading. So that may be linked to the fact that there may have been, oh boy, there may have been an energy coming through this weekend that was like an obvious knock at the door. Like maybe you weren't expecting someone to contact you, or maybe you didn't expect this revelation to come in so hard. Like sometimes when we have revelations, they come in, gently over time, that sort of thing. But perhaps this one kind of knocked us for a loop. So let's get into the pre-shuffle. A volunteer, so we'll talk about this. Oysters, this is water energy. This is like hermited water energy. This is someone who has a protective barrier that has built quite literally a hard shell that has lived in this space, this type of protective space for a really long time. And inside an oyster, generally, are they oysters that have pearls in them, or clams? Oh, I don't know marine life very well, but let's just say this particular creature is the one that produces the pearls. I'm getting told that's what it is. So even if this is not true from a biological standpoint, it's the message that I'm getting. So there is something about this energy currently as a collective that we have kind of been in this kind of hermited water energy. We've gone in to ourselves during this weekend. We've gone in within ourselves. And perhaps even it's been like this for a minute, but for this weekend, how are we checking in now? How are we feeling? There's this image, image. It is an image, but it is the sign of going within and really processing our emotions. And through the irritation and like the triggers that we get through these emotions, we're creating an understanding. This is where the pearl comes in. I'm hearing pearls of wisdom. So through that coming, like pulling in and doing that Herman energy, that shadow work, especially during this new moon in Aries and the solar eclipse, processing those emotions that likely will, like I said, cause a certain amount of surprise and a certain amount of like uncertainty, anxiety. It might trigger you, but all of that is leading to a deeper understanding that is creating these pearls of wisdom. Okay. All right, let's get this reading started and be like, how are we doing? How are you doing, collective? Post this solar eclipse and new moon in Aries. Okay, so we have the buffalo. Oh, shit. I'm sorry about swearing, but like this is such big energy. Oh my God, I'm getting legit chills. I know I've said that before, but it's chills so much that it like went up through my body and went to my head, and it was just like spiderwebby all over me. The buffalo card is earth energy, this unshakable earth energy. And we have this storm here. And there's this a fable or parable, or like, I'm not sure what you would call it, but there is this quote, I'll say, because I'm big for, well, trying to quote, but often kind of misquoting. I have an approximation of these quotes. It's fine. You'll get what I mean. But there is this quote where the buffalo is so steadfast and so grounded in itself. It trusts. It is also a deeply spiritual animal in like the indigenous cultures, and many practices. It is a deeply spiritual as well as a deeply grounded animal, and regardless of the storms that happen in its life, it weathers them. Not only does it weather those storms, the buffalo has been known to turn towards the storm, not to run away from it, not to seek shelter, but turns towards the storm and walks towards it. Because instinctively and spiritually, the buffalo understands that when you face the storm, it'll be over quicker. That is what I get from this. This is telling me, collective, you experienced whatever it was this weekend that seemed to be like a crash bang realization, or someone came in, or like all the pieces finally came together and you were like, what the what? How did I not see this? How did I not see this? It's so obvious. Like I said, it was like, I'm hearing like really loud banging. It's not, I know that wasn't very loud per se, but like a really loud banging in regards to spirit wanting to come through and bring in this message for you this weekend. So like I said, I'm going to read from the book because I said my intuitive thing, and I'm going to read you what the actual creator wanted to illustrate with this card. Okay, so Buffalo card. Sorry, I had to pick it up. So Buffalo card. Grounded yet heavenly, practical yet spiritual. The hooves of the mighty buffalo are grounded in the earth, yet its heart and mind rise towards heaven. The buffalo sees challenges, hardship, or a bump in the road as an opportunity for upliftment. Therefore, the buffalo does not fear death, illness, or misfortune. Its gentle eyes look to the road, trusting every turn. May we all experience this elusive yet life-changing bliss from time to time, and may we allow this card to remind us that life is a precious gift. That's almost exactly what I said. Grounded yet heavenly. Okay, let me go ahead. Let me just keep going. Collective, what else do we got? How else? So we have hyena. Now, when I see a hyena, I can't help it. I have younger siblings, and there was a lot of Disney in my house. And so whenever I see a hyena, I see a sort of chaotic little chaos gremlin that is also very funny and clown-like, right? And so for me, when I see this hyena card, which is fire energy, and it's interesting that there is earth energy here and there's fire energy here. And not that long ago, I was talking about how an earth energy and a fire energy were coming into union, and it was producing a volcanic like eruption, but like in a good way, like chemistry ways. Now we have earth and fire once again, and we have a deeply grounded, deeply spiritual energy of someone, whether it be you or someone you're connected to, is unafraid to weather the storm, to walk towards the storm. And then we have this fire energy of what I see as like a little chaos gremlin, but moves through life with humor. Sometimes may even deal with trauma through humor, but they're also a survivor. It also makes me think of comedians. Some of the most funny comedians learn how to transmute or alchemize their trauma in ways to make people laugh, but also bring awareness to the issues at hand. So let me go ahead and get the book again. That's my intuitive read of it, but let's go see what Kim Kranz wanted to communicate to us with the hyena card. So hyena. Oh, let me pick it back up. So we have humor, wit, and sarcasm. The hyena personality is a jokester and a crowd pleaser. Little chaos gremlin with humor. I'm thinking about Lion King with those hyenas. But below the surface, there are unfulfilled dreams to be realized. When the hyena card appears, it's time to reflect on your reliance on sarcasm and humor to express your truth. That is exactly what I said. Okay. Are you using jokes to hide your old resentments in relationships or to mask things that you feel uncomfortable discussing? What would happen if you took your goals seriously? Oh my God. Okay. Here we have collective. It feels like, oh my gosh, I'm getting all knocking over my stuff. Collective, we have someone here who is deeply grounded and deeply spiritual, who is willing to weather the storm, or the energy of. And then we have someone who masks their trauma and their pain and their hurt and their resentment through clownish activities and a lot of jokes and all that kind of stuff. But what it feels like is during this solar eclipse, that mask fell away. Maybe that knock that I'm talking about is the realization that you make like light of maybe a certain fulfillment that you're missing, or a certain want or desire that you have, and you play it off as a joke. But to think about it, to really move forward towards it, would cause like, what's that term? Like cognitive dissonance. Like you want it, but you don't. You can't imagine what it would be like to actually acquire said thing because it seems so outer limits. It's almost impossible. And yet we have this deeply grounded, deeply spiritual animal who, regardless of how bad the storm is, perseveres forward. So it's almost like and I love how, hold on. I was going to say we have not two opposing energies, but two energies that have different priorities. One is masking, one is perseverance, and we have light and shadow. These are two sides of a whole of the collective. There's a side that wants to pursue, wants to persevere, and there's the side that just wants to mask and be like, it was a joke. Like, I don't really need that or want that or like that or hope for that. No, I mean, unless... I mean, I didn't really mean that. I don't really feel that way. I want that or need that unless, it's kind of like this back and forth. So whoever showed up during this weekend, whoever contacted during this weekend is a stern test of your character, a stern test of what you actually want. Is this the opportunity to build those hard boundaries because this person keeps overstepping? The person who came in that messaged you, is this the time to draw that hard line to be like, look, I've had enough. This is the hard line. I make a joke about being like, I'm my own person, ha 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 ha. But this buffalo is being like, no, seriously? Seriously. I'm going to draw this line. And even if I get some pushback, I got to stay authentic to myself. Alternatively, it could also be somebody who contacts you and it's maybe been a cycle. There's been a lot of back and forth, a lot of hot and cold. And this person makes light of it, being like, haha, oh, cycles. Oh, I guess he's just like a Lothario type, or I guess she's just like a shadow. You can't pin her down, or like a cloud can't pin her down, But over here, there is this deeply grounded and spiritual animal who is just like, well, here's the truth. And I need to move towards that truth, regardless of whether or not the storm seems to do that seems like I would be walking into the storm, but you're also walking towards your truth. You're also figuring out like, okay, if I'm unhappy with this hot, cold dynamic, if I'm unhappy with this in and out of my life, I need to not shy away from the deep conversation that needs to be had. I need to lean into it. And, the other side of this energy also feels like the revelation, the big revelation that, like I said, sometimes people experience it softly, like through dreams and through slow realizations because they, see signs and synchronicity through movies, music, lyrics, poems, video games, books, whatever it is. All these things, maybe signs that you see on the street, whether they be animals or weather or whatever it is that resonates to you as a sign. But this revelation came in like a freight train. This buffalo being the freight train, the hyena being an old version of yourself, wanting to mask what you actually want, wanting to mask what you actually need, wanting to mask what you actually desire, wanting to mask how you want something fulfilled. This is the mask falling away. You're not wanting to cover up the want and need with the mask, because the realization of what you actually need and actually want was more apparent during this weekend. And I just heard an unnameable force pushing you towards truth, pushing you towards, weathering the storm of figuring out why, how, where, when. There was an unnameable force pushing you towards your encouraging you to drop the mask. If anybody has played that video game Persona, it's about dropping the mask, being the most authentic version of yourself. And I'm also hearing, what is that? Maybe it is another Persona game. I'm sorry, I've never played it, but I've watched people play it, the game. But it is about identifying how we present to people and what is the deep core of what you want, need, or desire. The hyena is the mask. The buffalo is who you actually are. All right, so let's continue forward. I'm sorry that took so long, but it felt like a really strong channel. Let's get some information about this buffalo energy in conjunction to how the collective is doing. Oh, I just knocked my light. How the collective is doing post solar eclipse, new moon in Aries. Okay, so we have the Three of Cups. The buffalo is weathering the storm because it's in pursuit of, oh gosh, why am I so at a loss? Mercury retrograde, why are you doing this to me? Pursuing the, I'm hearing camaraderie or understanding. Camaraderie or understanding of a like soul, a like mind. This, you may find that you've, I just heard how Stella got her groove back. You may have gotten into your groove again. Whatever that means, I don't know what that means. Take it as it resonates. It's like you've got your groove back. You're working, oh my gosh, why am I getting all these really strange terms? You've got your mojo back. They really cooking now. I'm getting that kind of stuff. By community. There's something here. You've met a group of people. You've met a person. You've met, or you found a way to vocalize and or express or embody who you truly are. Three of Cups is about coming into union. It can be reunion. It also is coming into union with those of like mind, of like energy, of like heart. The buffalo is in pursuit of that. Again, moving forward, weathering a storm, because they know that if they face the storm of shame, if they face the storm of self-limiting thoughts, if they face the storm of what they perceive as judgment by the world at large, media and society, that they get to their freedom faster. They remove those shackles of what's holding them back. And part of that is connecting, coming into union with people, same mind, same heart, same spirit. A person, same mind, same heart, same spirit. Or finding a way, an avenue to embody your most authentic self. Oh, right away. So this is for the hyena. This is the Son of Wands. This is movement. This is action. This is finding the energy or the conviction. I'm hearing the conviction, the energy, the conviction, the passion to pursue this. Page of Wands. I don't want to say in this moment it feels impulsive, but it feels like in regards to this hyena energy, it's like the fire sign knows that there's an action to be taken. Fire and fire. There's an action to be taken, and it wants to move on it quickly. Obviously, the action that I'm talking about is the removing of the mask. For the buffalo, we have the tower. Again, tower and the buffalo with the storm. The buffalo, okay, the buffalo energy rather. When you, viewer or the person that you're connected with, recognized the storm and was unswayed by it. So that means this weekend, whatever presented, your deeper self, the person that you're connected to, saw the storm, saw the challenge, saw the tower, and was unwavered by it because it knew that it faced the tower. The tower happens to bring in better things. To the Marilyn Monroe quote that I've said like twice now. Sometimes good things have to fall apart so that better things can come together. The buffalo I'm hearing the buffalo be like, I see you. I see what you're doing, universe, and I'm with it. Because oh my God, I'm hearing I was stuck for a minute. I was wearing this mask. And I now have the conviction. I have the motivation to change, but I need just a little help. And so maybe the universe brought in a tower or tower-like energy, and the buffalo energy. You this weekend, for those that resonates, recognize that the change was coming this weekend. You knew you could feel the energetic shift. You knew it was coming. New moon in Aries and the solar eclipse. You knew it was coming quite literally, because if you're watching tarot reads or into zodiacs or astrology or astronomy, you knew it was coming and you wanted it. You knew that this was a point in which to really lean into this energy, because coming into union with people who have like mind, like heart, like spirit is what you wanted. It allows you to be more authentically yourself so that you can drop the mask. Okay, so let's get one more card for this hyena energy. Oh, 2 came out. Which one do we want, Spirit? Okay, okay. So we have oh my goodness. This one is running away. So we have the 8 of Cups. From an emotional standpoint, the action that needed to be taken is to walk away, i.e., drop the mask. It feels like, collective, I'm going to be honest with you, it feels like you've been wanting to do this for a really long time, but just like I said, the buffalo was waiting for the right storm, waiting for that tower moment. It's like the collective knew, maybe on a subconscious level, that this weekend was going to be incredibly pivotal. Not just because I happened to do a reading last week on the day of the solar eclipse that I said it felt transformational, it felt pivotal. But this reading is telling me that for those that reading resonated, you found that yes, it was transformative. It was in some ways triggering. In some ways, it was scary, but you persevered through it. Collective, I'm feeling such a strong energy from you. Like, I'm not saying that it was easy. By no stretch of the imagination did I say what happened this weekend was easy. But I feel like the decisions that you made in light of your personal brand of happiness, moving towards your wants, needs, and desires, what you feel you needed in order to grow, to heal, to build a foundation in which you can experience a life and a happiness that you want to garner and foster for yourself, whatever happened that weekend, with those goals in mind, you've done the right thing. It honestly feels like you've done the right thing. I don't want to get too much into it because this is just like a little check-in, but I've probably already gone past 30 minutes because I am wanted to do that. So I'm going to use a Inner Gaia Oracle to wrap it up. We got Dark Night of the Soul. Incoming energy, purging, ascension, and strength. Oh my God. Some of you really, some of you really, really may have experienced this. Like, I think as a general closing oracle, this is, like it says, this is, oh, sorry, if it's blurry. Incoming energy, purging, and ascension. Ascension, that's the word I was looking for. For some of you, this ascension is so real. So real. Like I said, that bang, 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 knocking at the door. Like, hello, I'm here to help you change. This revelation, this realization, like a freight train, is leading to your spiritual ascension, your self-actualization, the road to healing, however that resonates. It feels like whatever was experienced and how you moved towards, how you made decisions in connection with your own particular brand of happiness, for your own healing, for your own like vibrational like lift or raise, was the right thing to do. And for some, that meant a dark night of the soul. Dark night of the soul, for those who are not really familiar with the term, it is a point in which where there is deep introspection. Like, when I use the word debriding, that is a medical term that, like, if you have, and I'm sorry if this is going to trigger some people, I'm going to be talking about medical procedures. So if that makes you feel squeamish, you can just go ahead and move past this part by probably 30 seconds. But a debridement is a medical procedure that is used when, like, you have a wound and it's deeply infected, or the edges of the wound are necrotic and needs to be cut away, deeply cleaned out, so that you leave only fresh, flesh to be sewn back together. Debridement, and that's deep cleaning. That is cutting away what not serving, what is problematic, and finding out what the root of the problem is. Dark Night of the Soul is like that, but for your soul, where you recognize what you need to cut away, what you need to clean out, how you need to advocate for yourself. Again, this weekend's energy, deeply transformational, deeply transformative. And that is the reading for today. I know it's not a whole lot of cards, but the message felt super strong. And I tried to make this a short read, but of course, it's me. And I'm Chatty Cathy. So thank you for stopping by. This is Rabbit and Moon Tarot. I really appreciate you being here. Again, if you made it to the end and you like my style of reading, my energy, my personality, the cards, please consider sharing, and subscribing. I am a small channel, a very, very small channel. And I would like it if more people who wanted my message, needed my message, or even just wanted to be inspired by a message could access messages that may be for them. Clicking that like and subscribing definitely helps. So, this is Rabbit and Moon Tarot. My name is Angel, and I will see you at the next reading.